There is a certain kind of math the mind does only at night. In the quiet, when the world has gone still, the mental calculator clicks on, running the numbers of the past. It adds up the missed opportunities, subtracts the moments of indulgence, and divides your present self by the ghost of a wealthier, more secure you that could have been. It's a phantom ache, a looping film reel of different choices, different outcomes. What if you had saved more then? What if you hadn't bought that thing, taken that trip, trusted that advice? These questions are heavy, aren't they? They arrive uninvited and sit on your chest, making the simple act of breathing feel like a chore. And so, you lie here, caught between a past you cannot change and a future you cannot control, trying to find rest in the narrow space between them. What if, just for tonight, we could set that calculator aside? What if we could gently stop that film from playing, not by force, but by simply deciding to watch something else? By the end of our time together, you will have found a way to hold this story with a little more kindness, to see your own journey with a little more grace, and to understand that your true worth has never, ever been counted in dollars and cents. Before we begin, let's just take a quick moment. Write in the comments which part of this world you're listening from right now, and what time it is where you are. I'm curious, are you listening in the quiet of late night? Or perhaps in the early morning hours when sleep hasn't come yet? Just leave a word or two, and then settle in. Because this time right now, is entirely yours. Now let yourself arrive fully in this moment. Whatever the day has held, whatever conversations or calculations have filled your mind, just allow them to be. You don't need to push them away. Simply shift your focus gently to the physical reality of your body right now. Feel the weight of you, held and supported by the surface beneath you. Notice the points of contact, your head on the pillow, your shoulders, your back, your legs. Allow yourself to feel completely supported. There is nothing for you to hold up. Gravity is doing all the work. Let your attention drift to the fabric of the blankets or sheets against your skin. Notice their texture, their temperature, their gentle weight upon you. This is your haven. This bed, in this room, at this moment, is a sanctuary. For the next little while, it is a space outside of time, a place where the demands of the world can fall away. Here, you are not a balance sheet. You are not a credit score. You are not the sum of your past financial decisions. Here, you are simply a human being, deserving of rest and peace. Let's create an intention together, a quiet agreement with yourself for this time. The intention is not to fight the thoughts of regret. Fighting them only gives them more energy. Instead, our intention is to soften, to create a space of such profound gentleness and self-compassion that the harsh edges of regret can begin to smooth over. Imagine you are building a nest. You are gathering the softest materials, the feeling of the blankets, the quiet in the room, the rhythm of your own breath, and you are weaving them into a safe place for your heart to rest. Let's begin with the body, because the body is where we store so much of this tension. The worries about money don't just live in our minds. They live in our muscles, in the set of our jaw, in the shallow way we breathe. So let's begin a gentle release. Bring your awareness to your jaw. Is it clenched? Most of us hold tension here without even realizing it. Consciously, gently, allow your jaw to soften. Let there be a little space between your top and bottom teeth. Feel the muscles in your cheeks and temples begin to let go. Now, Bring that same gentle awareness to your shoulders. Are they hunched up towards your ears, braced for a blow that never comes? Allow them to drop. Let them melt down and away from your neck. Feel the space you are creating there. With every exhale, imagine you are releasing a little bit of the weight you've been carrying. The weight of responsibility, the weight of worry, the weight of what if. It doesn't all have to go at once, just a little. Let the exhale carry it away. Let that feeling of softness travel down your arms, all the way to your fingertips. Uncurl your hands if they are clenched into fists. Let your fingers rest, open and relaxed. Your hands have done enough for today. They have worked, they have typed, they have held things, they have paid for things. Now, they can simply rest. Let them be heavy and still. Now bring your focus to your breath. Don't try to change it at all. Just notice it. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest or your abdomen. Each breath is an anchor to this present moment. The worried mind loves to live in the past or the future, but the breath is always, always right here, right now. As you breathe in, imagine you are drawing in calm, quiet energy from the room around you. And as you breathe out, imagine you are releasing the scattered, anxious energy of the day. Breathing in peace, breathing out worry. There is no need to force it. It's a gentle invitation. Inhaling softness, exhaling tension. Each breath cycle is a small act of letting go, a tiny rehearsal for the deeper release of sleep. This space we are creating right here is sacred. It's a pocket of peace carved out of the night. It's a place where you are allowed to be imperfect. You are allowed to have made mistakes. You are allowed to feel scared or regretful. But here, those feelings do not have to define you. They are simply visitors passing through. In this space, you are setting down the heavy burden of self-judgment. Imagine it's a heavy cloak you've been wearing all day, perhaps for years. It's woven from every harsh word you've said to yourself, every mental tally of your perceived failures. Right now, in your mind's eye, see yourself unfastening the clasp at your throat. Feel the weight of it as you let it slide from your shoulders. Hear the soft thud as it falls to the floor beside you. And notice the feeling of lightness, the freedom in your shoulders and your back, now that you are no longer carrying it. For tonight, you don't need it. Here, you are safe enough to be without it. Here, you are simply preparing for rest. Now that you have set down that heavy cloak of judgment, you might notice a quiet stillness in the space you've created. But even in this quiet, you may find the old feelings are still there. They may not be as loud, but their presence can still be felt, like the faint echo of a bell after it has been struck. This is perfectly okay. We are not here to banish them. We are here to meet them with a quiet curiosity. We are here to gently, without force, name the weight you carry. Because when we can name something, it loses its shapeless, overwhelming power. It becomes something we can look at, rather than something that consumes us. Let's start with the first name, a difficult one. Shame. Perhaps that is one of the threads woven into this weight. Shame is the feeling that there is something fundamentally wrong with you. Not just that you made a mistake, but that you are a mistake. It's the feeling that whispers you are uniquely foolish, uniquely irresponsible. It's the hot feeling that rises in your chest and face when you imagine others knowing the full story of your finances. Shame makes us want to hide. It thrives in silence and secrecy. Can you allow yourself to just notice this feeling, if it's there for you, without judgment? You don't need to agree with it. You don't need to believe its story. Just acknowledge its presence. See it like a heavy, dark blanket. You can feel its texture, its weight, without having to wrap yourself in it. Just observing. Ah, there is shame. I see you. That's all. This simple act of seeing is an act of profound courage. It brings what is hidden in the dark out into the gentle light of your awareness. And alongside shame, there is often its close companion, regret. Regret is the voice that plays the highlight reel of your past financial decisions on a loop. It's the tireless narrator pointing out every wrong turn. If only you had started saving sooner. If only you hadn't spent money on that. If only you had chosen a different path. Regret lives exclusively in the past, a past that cannot be changed, and it drains the energy you need for the present. It feels like dragging a heavy anchor behind you. Can you notice the energy of regret? Notice how it pulls you backward. Notice the exhaustion it creates. Again, we are not here to argue with it. We are not trying to prove it wrong. We are simply naming it. There is the story of regret. Witness it as you would a movie playing on a screen. You are the audience, not the actor trapped in the scene. You can watch it play, feel the sadness or frustration it brings up, and know, on a deeper level, that you are the watcher, not the story itself. This separation, however small, is the beginning of freedom. And beneath both shame and regret, there is often something even more primal. Fear. Let's name that too. The fear of vulnerability. The fear of what this financial insecurity means for your future, for your safety, for your ability to care for yourself and those you love. It's the shaky feeling in the pit of your stomach, the cold dread that can wake you in the middle of the night. It's the fear of being exposed, of not having enough, of the ground beneath you giving way. This fear is a powerful, deeply human experience. It is the part of your nervous system trying to keep you safe, sounding an alarm. Let's be kind to this fear. It is not your enemy. It is a sign that you care deeply about your well-being. So, just for a moment, can you acknowledge this fear with compassion? I see you, fear. I know you are here because you are trying to protect me. By meeting it this way, not with resistance, but with a gentle understanding, you can begin to soothe the part of you that feels so terrified. And who is it that delivers these messages of shame, regret, and fear so relentlessly? It's the voice of the inner critic. We all have one. It's that part of our mind that takes on the role of a harsh prosecutor, believing that if it berates us enough, we'll never make a mistake again. This inner critic is often a distorted echo of past voices, parents, teachers, society, all telling us how we should be. It believes its job is to keep us in line, to motivate us through criticism. But its methods are cruel, and they don't work. It only creates more suffering. Notice that voice right now. Hear its tone. Is it sharp, cold, sarcastic, demanding? See if you can recognize its familiar phrases, the ones it uses to keep you feeling small and stuck. And then, gently, introduce a new idea to yourself. This voice is not the truth. It is not the voice of your deep inner wisdom. It is a scared part of you, using harshness as a flawed strategy for safety. You don't need to obey it. You don't even need to argue with it. Your work tonight is simply to notice it, to see it for what it is, a noisy, fearful habit of the mind. Now, with these feelings and voices named, shame, regret, fear, the critic, we can create that safe space to simply witness them. Imagine you are sitting on the bank of a gently flowing river. The thoughts and feelings about your finances are like leaves floating by on the water's surface. A leaf of regret floats past. You see it, you name it, regret, and you let it keep floating. A leaf of shame comes by. You see it, you name it, shame, and you let it go. You don't have to jump into the river to grab them. You don't have to analyze why they are there. Your only job is to remain on the bank, watching with a calm, steady presence. Your breath is your anchor to the riverbank. Every time you feel yourself getting pulled into the current of the story, just gently guide your attention back to the sensation of your breath. The rise and the fall, the inhale and the exhale. The breath is your connection to the present moment, the only place where peace can be found. You are creating a space of non-judgmental awareness. This is a radical act of kindness toward yourself. For years, you have likely fought these feelings, run from them, or been overwhelmed by them. Tonight, you are doing something new. You are creating a calm, loving container for them. You are saying, you are all welcome here. You can pass through. You do not control me. In this space, there is nothing to fix, nothing to solve. There is only being, breathing, and watching, simply allowing everything to be exactly as it is. As you rest here, on the quiet riverbank of your awareness, watching these feelings float by, a new question might gently surface. Not the harsh, critical, "Why did you do that?" but a softer, more curious inquiry. How did I get here? This is not a search for blame. It is a search for understanding. It's an invitation to look at your own story, not as a list of errors, but as a complex and human journey. Because every story has a reason. Every choice, every turn in the road made sense at the time, from the perspective of the person you were then. Let's acknowledge that complexity, just for a moment. Think back. Your path to this present moment wasn't a straight line on an empty map. It was a winding trail through a dense, ever-changing landscape. It was a mix of your own choices, yes, but it was also shaped by forces beyond your control. There were the circumstances you were born into, the financial lessons you were or were not taught as a child. There were the economic tides of the world, recessions, job markets, the rising cost of living, currents that are far stronger than any one individual swimmer. There were moments of sheer bad luck, an unexpected illness, a sudden job loss, a car that broke down at the worst possible time. And then there were your own choices, made from a place of hope or fear or love or simply exhaustion. Consider the person you were 5, 10, 20 years ago. What did that person know? What resources did they have? Not just financially, but emotionally and mentally. What pressures were they under? Perhaps they were just trying to survive, making the best decision they could to get through the day, the week, the month. The choice to take on debt might have been the choice to put food on the table. The choice not to save might have been the choice to create a joyful memory with a loved one, a moment of relief in a stressful time. The choice to take a lower paying but more meaningful job might have been an act of loyalty to your own soul. From the vantage point of tonight, looking back with the knowledge you have now, those past choices can seem naive or misguided. Hindsight has perfect vision, but we don't live our lives in hindsight. We live our lives in the messy, uncertain, forward-moving present. The you of the past was doing the very best they could with the information, the emotional state, and the tools they possessed in that moment. That is a fundamental truth. You are not trying to sabotage your future self. You are trying to navigate your present reality. Let's validate that experience. Let's acknowledge the feeling that what seemed right or necessary then looks so different now. That feeling is real, and it can be painful. It's the feeling of seeing the whole map after you've already completed the journey, noticing all the shortcuts you could have taken. But you didn't have the map then. No one does. We are all finding our way with a compass that sometimes spins and a light that sometimes flickers. Think about it this way. Imagine you are watching a film about a character's life. You see their struggles. You understand their motivations. You feel empathy for the difficult situations they face. You wouldn't stand up in the theater and shout at the screen, judging them for their mistakes. You would understand that their actions are a product of their story. Can you offer yourself that same compassionate perspective? Can you see your own life as a story, with its own logic, its own context, its own understandable progression? Your story is valid. The pain in it, the joy in it, the confusion in it, it is all a valid part of your human experience. There is a reason for every chapter. The decision to spend instead of save might have been driven by a deep, unmet need for comfort, for safety, for a moment of feeling okay in a world that felt hard. It wasn't a failure of character, it was a strategy for coping. The decision to trust the wrong person with money might have come from a place of optimism or a deep desire to believe in the goodness of others. It wasn't foolishness, it was an expression of your own hopeful heart. Even the moments of avoidance, of not wanting to look at the bank statements, of pretending everything was fine, those too have a reason. They come from a place of overwhelm, from a mind and body so saturated with stress that the only available coping mechanism was to shut down. It was a form of self-preservation, however flawed. By looking at your history in this way, you are not making excuses. You are not absolving yourself of responsibility. You are doing something much more powerful and much more healing. You are practicing understanding. You are beginning to see that your financial situation is not a simple verdict on your worth or your intelligence. It is the result of 1,000 different factors, a complex tapestry woven from threads of choice and chance, wisdom and innocence, strength and vulnerability. This understanding is a balm for the wounds of self-blame. It loosens the knot of regret in your chest. It allows you to breathe a little more deeply. Your story, with all its unexpected detours and painful chapters, is understandable. It makes sense. And acknowledging that, truly letting that sink in, is a profound step toward peace. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a story to be understood. And the most important person who needs to understand that story, with kindness and with grace, is you. Let that kindness be the air you breathe right now. Inhaling understanding for the path you have walked, and exhaling the harsh judgment that has followed you for far too long. As this gentle understanding begins to settle in your heart, let's address one of the most painful aspects of this struggle: the deep, isolating feeling of shame. Shame operates like a potent poison. Its primary function is to convince you that you are utterly alone in your experience. It builds invisible walls around you, whispering that your situation is unique, that your mistakes are singular, that everyone else has it figured out. It wants you to believe you are the only one lying awake at night, tangled in these specific knots of worry and regret. But tonight, we are going to whisper a deeper truth back to that isolating voice. And that truth is simple, yet revolutionary. You are not alone in this, not even close. Right now, as you are lying here, listening to these words, millions of other people are lying awake too. In your city, in your country, all across this planet. They are staring into the same darkness, feeling the same heavy weight on their chests. They are replaying their own histories, calculating their own debts, fearing their own futures. There is a silent fellowship of the worried, a vast, invisible community bound by the same quiet ache you feel right now. Imagine them, a teacher in another time zone, worrying about her student loans, a small business owner staring at the ceiling, wondering how he'll make payroll, a recent graduate overwhelmed by the cost of living, a retiree watching her small savings dwindle, feeling a fear she never expected in her later years. Their stories are different from yours in the details, but the emotional landscape is the same. The shame, the regret, the fear. These are universal human experiences when faced with financial insecurity. You are not an island. You are part of a vast, unseen ocean of shared human struggle. Let that knowledge sink in. Let it be a crack of light in the dark room of your isolation. You are not the only one. The feeling of being the only one is a cruel trick that shame plays on the mind. Let's take a moment to normalize this. Financial precarity, the state of living with persistent financial insecurity, is not a rare personal failing. It is a widespread, systemic issue woven into the very fabric of our modern world. We live in societies that often equate net worth with self-worth. We are bombarded with images of success and wealth that are unattainable for the vast majority of people. We are told to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, even when many of us were given no boots to begin with. The pressure is immense. The game is often rigged, and to feel like you are losing is not a sign of your inadequacy. It is often a sign that you are simply a human being trying to navigate a complex and often unforgiving system. So many people carry this burden in silence, believing they are the sole author of their struggles. They put on a brave face at work. They smile with friends. They go through the motions of a life that looks stable from the outside. But inside, they are carrying this heavy secret. They feel like imposters, terrified of being found out. Does that sound familiar? This performance of being okay is utterly exhausting, and it deepens the sense of isolation. But what if we could gently pull back that curtain? What if you could see that the person you admire for their seemingly perfect life is also carrying their own private financial worries? What if the neighbor whose life seems so effortless also has nights filled with anxiety? The truth is, you are surrounded by people who understand this feeling, even if they never speak of it aloud. So let this be a moment of affirmation, a quiet declaration of truth to counter the loud lies of shame. Let these words land in your heart. Your feelings are a natural response to a difficult situation. There is no shame in this. Let's say that again, softly, to yourself. My feelings are a natural response to a difficult situation. There is no shame in this. Feel the truth of it. Fear is a natural response to a threat to your security. Regret is a natural response to looking back with more wisdom. Sadness is a natural response to the loss of a dream or the reality of a struggle. These are not signs of defect. They are signs of your humanity. They are evidence that you have a heart that cares, a mind that hopes, and a spirit that longs for safety and peace. There is no moral failing in having debt. There is no moral failing in having little to no savings. These are circumstances, not character verdicts. You are not a less valuable, less lovable, or less worthy human being because of the numbers in your bank account. Your worth is inherent. It was there the day you were born, and it will be there the day you die. It cannot be earned, and it cannot be lost. It is not tied to your productivity, your income, or your financial portfolio. It is the simple, profound, and unchanging fact of your existence. By accepting that you are not alone, you begin to dissolve the power of shame. Shame cannot survive in the light of shared experience. It cannot maintain its grip when it is met with the quiet solidarity of knowing that millions of others are walking a similar path. You are part of a tribe you never knew you belonged to. The tribe of people who are navigating life's financial complexities with courage and resilience, even on the days they feel they have none. So, as you lie here, feel yourself connected to that vast network of human hearts. Send them a silent wave of compassion, and in doing so, offer it to yourself. See your own struggle not as a personal indictment, but as part of the larger human story. You are in it, together with so many others. And in that shared reality, there is a strange and quiet comfort. Let that comfort be a blanket for you tonight. You are not alone. You are simply human, and there is no shame in that. Now that you have connected with this quiet truth, that you are not alone, we can take another gentle step. We can move from acknowledging the feelings to giving ourselves full, unconditional permission to actually feel them. For so long, you may have been holding them back, bracing against them, pushing them down, believing that if you let yourself truly feel the grief, the anger, or the disappointment, you might shatter. You might be swept away by a tidal wave of emotion from which you'll never recover. So you build a dam. You tell yourself, I have to be strong. I can't afford to fall apart. Crying won't solve anything. And so the feelings get stored, trapped in the body, creating a constant low-level tension, a background hum of unresolved pain that drains your energy and disturbs your peace. Tonight, we are going to do the opposite of bracing. We are going to soften. We are going to grant ourselves explicit permission to feel it all, without judgment, without needing to fix a single thing. This is a space of safe release. Think of your emotions not as a destructive tidal wave, but as a passing storm. For a storm to end, the rain must be allowed to fall. If you hold the clouds back, they just loom, heavy and dark, blocking the sun. By allowing the rain to come, you are allowing the sky to eventually clear. You are participating in a natural cycle of cleansing and release. So, let's start with grief. Can you give yourself permission to feel the grief for the life you thought you would have by now? The grief for the sense of security you long for and do not have. The grief for the dreams that feel out of reach. It's okay to be sad about this. Your sadness is a testament to how much you cared, how much you hoped. It is a sign of your beautiful, tender heart. Let the sadness be there. You don't have to force tears. Just allow the sensation of grief to exist in your body. Where do you feel it? Is it a tightness in your throat? An ache in your chest? A hollowness in your stomach? Just notice it. Breathe into that space. Your breath is like a gentle, warm hand holding that tender part of you. You can say to it silently, it's okay to be sad. I am here with you. And what about anger? Perhaps there is anger here too. Anger at the system. Anger at the bad advice you received. Anger at the circumstances that set you back. Or maybe, most intensely, anger at yourself. Anger can be a difficult emotion. We are often taught that it is negative or destructive. But anger is also a life force. It is the part of you that says, this is not right. This is not fair. It is a boundary. It is a declaration of your own worth. Can you give yourself permission to feel the fire of that anger without needing to act on it? See it not as a destructive wildfire, but as a contained flame that can purify and energize. Let yourself feel its heat. Acknowledge its message. Yes, you can say, part of me is angry, and that's okay. By allowing the anger to be felt, you prevent it from festering into resentment or turning inward as depression. You honor its power, and you let its energy move through you. And then there is disappointment, the quiet, heavy sigh of disappointment in yourself. This can be one of the hardest feelings to sit with, the feeling of having let yourself down. Can you allow that feeling to be here too? Disappointment is the shadow side of hope. You feel it only because you had aspirations for yourself, because you believe in your own potential. It comes from a place of love, a love for the person you know you can be. So instead of berating yourself for this feeling, can you see the love at its root? Can you hold your own disappointment with a deep sense of compassion, as you would for a dear friend who feels they have failed? You would not scold them. You would offer them comfort. You would remind them of their inherent goodness. Offer that same comfort to yourself now. Your breath is your greatest ally in this process. It is the tool that helps these stored emotions move through and out of your body. Let's use it consciously now. As you breathe in, imagine you are creating space around the feeling. If the grief is in your chest, imagine your breath expanding your ribcage, making room for the sensation. You are not trying to get rid of it. You are simply giving it room to breathe. And as you breathe out, imagine a gentle release. Not a forceful push, but a soft sigh, a letting go, a surrender. With each exhale, you are signaling to your body that it is safe to release its grip. Let's try it together. Take a slow, gentle breath in, creating space around any emotional tension you feel. And now, a long, slow, audible sigh out. Let the sound carry the tension with it. Let's do that again. A deep, spacious breath in, and a full, releasing sigh out. Feel the subtle shift in your body. Feel the softening. You are literally moving stuck energy. You are allowing the rain of regret, of sadness, of anger to fall. And as it falls, it cleanses. It washes away the residue of the past. This is not about wallowing or becoming overwhelmed. It is about emotional hygiene. It is about tending to your inner world with the same care you would give to a physical wound. You are cleaning it out so that it can heal properly. Remember, you are the sky, not the weather. The storm of these emotions can pass through you, but it cannot harm the vast, open expanse of who you truly are. You are the container, strong enough and wide enough to hold it all. By giving yourself this permission, you are building an incredible capacity for emotional resilience. You are learning that you can survive your feelings. You are discovering that on the other side of the storm, there is always clear air, and there is always peace. Trust in this natural process. Allow the rain to fall. Your heart knows exactly how to heal. All it needs is your permission and your gentle, loving presence. As the cleansing rain of emotion begins to soften the hard ground of your heart, we can now turn to one of the heaviest burdens of all, the relentless weight of self-blame. This is the part of you that acts as judge, jury, and executioner. It is the voice that has sentenced you to a lifetime of carrying the guilt for every past mistake. This blame is a heavy, cumbersome weight. Imagine you have been carrying a massive, rough-hewn stone on your shoulders for years. You have grown so accustomed to its presence that you may not even notice the strain in your muscles anymore, the way it curves your spine, the constant effort it takes just to stand upright. It has become a part of you, but it is not you. And tonight, you have the power to set it down. Let's begin a guided visualization to help you physically and energetically release this burden. Bring your awareness to your shoulders, your upper back, and your neck. This is where we physically carry the weight of the world, the weight of our responsibilities, and the weight of our self-judgment. As you breathe in, I want you to imagine gathering up all the blame you've directed at yourself. Every harsh word, every should have, every if only. Imagine all of that energy, all of that criticism, coalescing into that heavy stone resting across your shoulders. Feel its texture, its weight, its coldness. Acknowledge it one last time. This is the burden you have been carrying. Now, as you prepare to exhale, I want you to imagine yourself making a conscious decision to let it go. In your mind's eye, see yourself bending your knees slightly, preparing to shrug it off. And on your next long, slow exhale, physically and energetically, let it go. Imagine that stone tumbling off your back, rolling away from you, and coming to a rest far, far away. Feel the immediate sense of release in your shoulders. Feel the lightness. Feel the new space you have created. Your shoulders can finally drop into their natural position. Your spine can lengthen. You can stand a little taller, even while lying down. Take a deep breath into this newfound lightness. This is your natural state, free from that artificial weight. With that stone now lying at a distance, let's address the core belief that keeps us picking it back up: the need to punish yourself for past decisions. There is a part of us, often a very young part, that believes if we just punish ourselves enough, we will atone for our mistakes and prevent ourselves from ever making them again. It's a primitive form of self-correction, born out of a desire for control in a world that often feels uncontrollable. It's a belief that says, if I am hard on myself, I will become better. But does it work? Has years of self-blame made you wealthier? Has it made you happier? Has it made you more peaceful? Or has it simply kept you trapped in a cycle of shame and paralysis, draining the very energy you need to create positive change? The truth is, punishment is a terrible motivator for growth. True, lasting change comes not from a place of self-hatred, but from a place of self-compassion. It comes from understanding, not from condemnation. It comes from nurturing yourself, not from attacking yourself. So tonight, let's make a conscious choice to release the need to punish yourself. It is a tool that has not served you. It is time to lay it down. You can say this to yourself as a quiet vow. I release the need to punish myself for past decisions. I choose kindness as my path forward. Feel the resonance of that statement in your body. It is an act of profound self-liberation. To help this release settle even more deeply, Let's anchor it with a new, more truthful affirmation. This is a statement of grace that you can offer to the part of you that has been carrying so much blame. Let this phrase wash over you and see if you can allow even a small part of you to believe it is true. The affirmation is this: you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Let's break that down. You did the best you could. This acknowledges your effort. It honors that you were not acting from a place of malice or intentional self-destruction. You were navigating, surviving, trying. With the knowledge you had at the time. This is crucial. The you of the past did not have the wisdom you have today. They could not see the future. They were operating with a limited data set. To judge them based on what you know now is fundamentally unfair. It's like criticizing a child for not knowing how to do calculus. They simply hadn't learned it yet. And finally, with the resources you had at the time. This refers to more than just money. It refers to your emotional resources, your mental health, your energy levels, your support system. Perhaps at the time of a key decision, you were exhausted, or lonely, or grieving, or in a state of high anxiety. Your capacity to make clear, far-sighted decisions was compromised. You were running on empty. Acknowledging this isn't making an excuse. It's adding crucial context. It's practicing radical honesty about the full picture of your past reality. You did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Let that be a mantra of self-forgiveness. Repeat it silently to yourself. Let it soothe the frayed nerves of your inner critic. Let it be the gentle counter-narrative to the harsh story of blame. Every time the old voice of blame pipes up, you now have a response. You don't need to fight it. You can simply offer this new, kinder truth. The stone of blame is no longer on your shoulders. You are standing in a new posture of self-acceptance. From this place, you are not doomed to repeat the past. Instead, you are free to learn from it. Blame keeps you stuck, looking backward. Forgiveness, starting with self-forgiveness, allows you to turn your face toward the future, not with anxiety, but with the quiet wisdom you have earned. You have paid enough. The sentence is over. The debt of self-punishment has been canceled. Your only task now is to live in this newfound freedom, one gentle breath at a time. Now that you have set down the heavy stone of blame, a new kind of inner journey becomes possible. We can revisit the past, not as a harsh judge returning to the scene of a crime, but as a kind, wise friend visiting a younger version of yourself. This is not about reliving the pain or getting lost in nostalgia. It is a gentle reframing, an act of healing and integration. It is about meeting your past self with the compassion they needed then, but perhaps never received, especially from you. Imagine you can travel back in time, not to change anything, but simply to observe and to understand. Let your mind drift back to a specific time when you made a financial decision you now regret. Don't choose the most painful one. Start with something small, manageable. See that younger you. See the room they are in. See the clothes they are wearing. Look into their eyes. What do you see there? Before you rush to judgment, get curious. What was the context of their life at that moment? What pressures were they under? Were they trying to impress someone? Were they feeling lonely and seeking a moment of connection or joy? Were they overwhelmed by responsibilities, just trying to find a moment of ease? Were they acting from a place of unhealed wounding, trying to Fill a void with a purchase or an experience. Look beyond the single action and see the entire ecosystem of their reality. See their hopes, their fears, their limited understanding of how things would unfold. They were not an all-knowing sage. They were a person in the middle of their life, doing their best to navigate. Now, imagine you, the wise and compassionate person you are today, can step into that scene. You are not there to lecture or to scold. The world has done enough of that. You are there simply to offer your presence. Imagine walking over to that younger you and sitting down beside them. You don't even have to say anything at first. Just let them feel your calm, non-judgmental energy. Let them know they are not alone in this moment of decision. After a moment of shared silence, what might you say to them? Perhaps you would simply say, "I see you. I see how hard you are trying." Or, "I know you're feeling scared right now and you're just looking for a way to feel better." Or, "It's okay. You're learning. This is part of the journey." Notice how different this is from the inner critic's voice. The critic's voice is sharp, accusatory, and focused only on the mistake. The compassionate voice is warm, understanding, and focused on the person behind the mistake. It sees their humanity. It acknowledges their struggle. Can you feel the shift in your own body as you practice this? The tightness in your chest might soften. The knot in your stomach might loosen. This is the feeling of self-compassion. It is a powerful, healing balm. Now, let's offer that younger you a piece of wisdom, not as a criticism, but as a loving gift. You might gently say, "This choice feels right to you now, and that's okay. One day, you will learn a different way. One day, this experience will become part of your strength." The goal here is to mend the relationship you have with your own past. For many of us, our past selves are like estranged family members. We resent them for the baggage they left us. We are ashamed of their choices, but they are not separate from us. They are the foundation upon which we are built. To be at war with your past is to be at war with yourself. To make peace with your past self is to become whole. This practice of compassionate visitation helps to build a bridge. It allows you to reclaim the parts of yourself you have exiled out of shame. Let's try it again. With a different memory, perhaps. A moment of avoidance. A time you chose not to look at your finances because it was too overwhelming. See that younger you, feeling the dread, turning away from the mail or the banking app. The inner critic would call this lazy or irresponsible. But what does the compassionate observer see? The compassionate observer sees a nervous system in overload. They see a person so saturated with stress that their brain's only available coping mechanism was to shut down, to go into freeze mode. It was an act of self-preservation, a desperate attempt to find a moment's peace in a sea of anxiety. So, you sit beside them in that moment of avoidance. You might place a gentle hand on their shoulder in your mind's eye, and you might whisper, "I know this is too much for you right now. I'm not here to push you. I'm just here to be with you. You are not bad for feeling overwhelmed. You are human." This simple act of validation is profoundly healing. It rewires the old neural pathways of self-attack and creates new ones of self-support. You are becoming the wise, loving parent or friend that you always needed. You are providing that safety and understanding for yourself. Now, as this visit comes to a close, it is time to offer the ultimate gift, forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about condoning the action. It is not about saying the mistake didn't matter. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the prison of resentment. It is the act of cutting the energetic cord that keeps you tied to the pain of the past, so you can be free to live in the present. Looking at this younger version of you, with all their imperfections and all their sincere efforts, can you find it in your heart to forgive them? Can you say, either out loud or in the quiet of your mind, I forgive you. I forgive you for not knowing what you didn't know. I forgive you for the choices that led to pain. I release you from my judgment. Feel the power of those words. They are for you. The forgiveness you offer to your past self is ultimately a gift you give to your present self. It is the key that unlocks the cage and allows you to finally step out into the open air of this present moment, whole and at peace with all that you have been. You are not just your mistakes. You are the wisdom you've gained, the resilience you've built, and the compassion you are learning to embody right now. Having met your past self with kindness and offered the healing gift of forgiveness, we can now turn our attention to one of the most deeply ingrained and damaging beliefs in our culture, the idea that our self-worth is somehow connected to our net worth. This is a silent, pervasive lie that we absorb from the world around us from a very young age. We see it in the media. We hear it in conversations. We feel it in the social hierarchies that surround us. The message is clear. The more you have, the more you are. The less you have, the less you are. This equation is so deeply embedded in our collective psyche that we often don't even question it. It runs in the background of our minds, a toxic operating system that constantly measures, judges, and finds us wanting. And when we are struggling financially, this belief becomes a source of profound and intimate pain. It transforms a practical problem, a lack of money, into a spiritual crisis, a lack of worth. Tonight, our work is to gently but firmly dismantle this equation. We are going to perform a kind of soul retrieval, separating once and for all the sacred, immeasurable concept of your self-worth from the fluctuating external number in your bank account. They are not, and have never been, the same thing. Let's start by exploring what your worth truly consists of. Imagine for a moment that you had to create a balance sheet of your true value, a ledger of your soul. What would be the assets on that list? Consider your wisdom. Think of all the lessons you have learned, not in a classroom, but through the crucible of your own lived experience. The lessons about resilience, about kindness, about what truly matters in life. You have learned how to survive difficult days. You have learned who your true friends are. You have learned the depths of your own strength. This wisdom is a form of wealth that no recession can touch. It is earned, not bought. It is an asset of immense value. How could you possibly put a price on that? Now think about the love you have given and received. Think of the moments you have been a good friend, a loving partner, a caring family member, a kind stranger. Think of the times you listened when someone needed to talk. The times you offered a word of encouragement. The times your presence alone brought comfort to someone in pain. Think of the laughter you have shared, the hands you have held, the hearts you have touched. This network of love and connection is a form of wealth that enriches not only your life, but the lives of everyone you interact with. It is a treasure beyond measure. Consider your resilience. You have faced challenges. You have known disappointment and heartbreak. You have navigated uncertainty. And yet, here you are. You are still breathing. You are still standing. Your heart is still beating. The fact of your survival, the sheer tenacity of your spirit to keep going, is a testament to a profound inner strength. This resilience is a deep, foundational wealth. It is the bedrock upon which you can build any future you choose. It is more valuable than gold because it is the very engine of your life. And what about your unique experiences? The sights you have seen, the music you have heard, the books you have read, the skills you have developed, the memories you hold of stunning sunsets, of quiet moments of peace, of personal triumphs, big and small. These are the textures of your unique and unrepeatable life. They form the rich inner tapestry of who you are. This experiential wealth is what makes your life your own. It is priceless. Your kindness, your humor, your creativity, your unique way of seeing the world, these are all part of your intrinsic worth. They are not dependent on your income. They are not diminished by your debt. They are the essential, unchanging truth of you. Let's use an analogy to let this sink in. Think of a great ancient tree in a forest. We value that tree for its strength, for the way its branches reach for the sky, for the shade it provides, for the home it offers to birds and other creatures. We value it for its sheer, magnificent presence. We would never, ever judge the worth of that tree by the number of leaves it holds in any one season. In the autumn, it may lose all its leaves. It may stand bare through the winter. But do we say it is a worthless tree? Of course not. We know its value is in its deep roots, its sturdy trunk, its fundamental aliveness. We know the leaves will come again in the spring. Your financial situation is like the leaves on the tree. It is a temporary condition, subject to the seasons of life. It can change. Your self-worth is the tree itself. It is your deep-rooted, unshakable being. Do not mistake the leaves for the tree. You are the tree. Feel the truth of this. You are not your bank account. You are the courage you show up with each day. You are not your debt. You are the love you pour into the world. You are not your credit score. You are the wisdom you have gathered on your journey. Let this be a deep repatterning of your mind. Every time you feel the sting of shame about money, you can gently remind yourself of this truth. My worth is not in my bank account. My worth is inherent and unchanging. This is not a denial of the practical difficulties that financial struggles bring. Those are real and need to be addressed. But it is a refusal to let those practical difficulties define your essence. You can be struggling financially and still be a person of immense worth. The two are not mutually exclusive. In fact, your worth may even be revealed more clearly in the struggle, through the resilience and character it forges within you. So take a deep breath, and as you exhale, let go of the long, exhausting effort of trying to prove your worth through external means. Let go of the belief that you will finally be enough when you reach a certain financial goal. You are already enough. You have been enough from the very beginning. Rest in that knowing. It is your birthright. It is the solid ground beneath your feet. Having gently untangled your self-worth from your net worth, let's now turn our attention to a treasure you already possess in abundance, a form of wealth that often goes uncounted, the profound wealth of your lived experience. When we are fixated on a financial lack, our vision tends to narrow. We see only what is missing. The mind becomes a relentless auditor, highlighting every deficit, every shortfall. But this hyperfocus on one area of life causes us to completely overlook the vast reserves of strength and wisdom we have accumulated in countless other areas. Tonight, we are going to consciously broaden that focus. We are going to reconnect with the powerful, resilient survivor that resides within you. The one who has navigated so much more than just financial challenges. Take a moment and let your mind drift back over the course of your life. I want you to remember a time you overcame a significant non-financial challenge. It could be anything. Perhaps it was navigating a difficult heartbreak, a time when you thought your heart would never mend, but it did. Remember the pain, but more importantly, remember how you got through it. What did you do? Did you lean on friends? Did you find solace in nature? Did you discover a new source of inner strength you never knew you had? Acknowledge the courage it took. That courage didn't disappear. It is still part of you. It is a resource you can draw upon right now. Perhaps you can recall a time you faced a health scare, your own or a loved one's. Remember the fear, the uncertainty, and remember how you coped. You learned to navigate complex medical systems. You learned to be a fierce advocate. You learned to sit with uncertainty. You learned what it truly means to be present for yourself or for another human being. That resilience, that capacity to face the unknown, is a form of wealth. It is a deep well of strength inside you. Maybe you can think of a time you failed at something important to you, a project, a relationship, a personal goal. Remember the sting of that failure, the feeling of disappointment. And then, remember what happened next. You got back up. You learned something crucial from the experience. You integrated the lesson, and you moved forward, perhaps a little wiser, a little more humble. That ability to learn from failure, to transform a setback into a stepping stone, is an invaluable asset. That is the essence of wisdom. These inner resources, courage, resilience, wisdom, the capacity for love, the ability to learn, are the true currency of a well-lived life. They are what get you through the hardest of times. And you have earned them. You have a rich portfolio of these assets, built over a lifetime of experiences. The problem is, when we're worried about money, we forget they exist. It's like having a vault full of gold but forgetting the combination. Tonight, we are remembering the combination. The combination is simply turning your attention inward and acknowledging the strength that is already there. Let's affirm this truth together. Let this statement settle into your bones. I have survived every single difficult day so far. That strength is still within me. Feel the simple, undeniable truth of that. Every challenge, every loss, every moment of fear or despair you have ever faced, you have lived through it. You are here. The person who navigated all of that is the same person lying in this bed right now. You haven't lost that strength. It may be tired. It may be buried under a layer of worry, but it is there. It is the fundamental, animating force of your being. When you focus on your financial struggles, you are looking at one chapter of your life story. But your story is a long and epic one, filled with countless examples of your heroism, your tenacity, your grace under pressure. It's time to honor that whole story. Think about it this way. Imagine a skilled sailor who has navigated treacherous storms, giant waves, and uncharted waters. They have learned to read the sky, to feel the shift in the wind, to work with the power of the ocean. Now, Imagine that sailor finds their ship becalmed, stuck in a place with no wind. For a moment, they might feel helpless, forgetting all their skill because the one thing they need, wind, is absent. But does their lack of wind diminish their skill as a sailor? No. All their knowledge, all their experience, all their courage is still intact. They are still a masterful sailor. They are simply in a temporary state of stillness, waiting for the winds to change. Your financial situation is the weather. You are the sailor. You may be in a period of calm or even in a storm. But do not forget the incredible skill and strength you possess. You have navigated so much. You know how to survive. That knowledge is deep within you. So, reconnect with that sailor within you right now. Feel that quiet competence, that steady knowing that you can handle what comes your way because you have handled so much already. This is not about arrogance or bravado. It is a quiet, confident trust in the resilience that life itself has forged in you. This trust is the antidote to the panic that financial fear can create. Panic arises when we feel small and helpless. Trust arises when we remember our own deep internal resources. So let your breath be a way of calling that strength forward. With every inhale, breathe in the memory of your own resilience. Remember a moment you were brave. And with every exhale, release the story that you are weak or incapable. You are the sum of all your victories, not just your perceived failures. And your greatest victory is simply this: you are still here, still learning, still growing, still breathing. That is a fortune beyond measure. As you rest in the quiet knowing of your own deep resilience, let's take a moment to specifically honor the character and strength that have been forged within you, not in spite of your hardships, but directly because of them. There is a common tendency to view periods of struggle as deficits, as gaps in an otherwise successful life. We see them as chapters to be endured, forgotten, and overcome. But what if they are something more? What if these periods of insecurity and difficulty are, in fact, the very crucibles where our most profound and valuable qualities are shaped? What if your financial struggles have been a harsh but powerful teacher, bestowing upon you gifts of character you might never have developed otherwise? Consider the quality of empathy. When you have lived with the gnawing anxiety of financial insecurity, you develop a fundamentally different understanding of the struggles of others. It's no longer an abstract concept. You know, in your bones, what it feels like to worry about rent, to stretch a few dollars until the next paycheck, to feel the sting of shame when your card is declined. This lived experience carves out a space of deep compassion in your heart. You see the person on the street corner not as a statistic, but as a human being whose story you might understand on some level. You are less likely to judge and more likely to connect. This capacity for genuine empathy is a form of spiritual wealth. It makes you a more compassionate, a more connected, a more truly human being. This is a gift forged in fire. Now, think about resourcefulness and creativity. When money is not readily available, the mind must become incredibly inventive. You learn how to make a delicious meal from simple ingredients. You discover the joy of free pleasures. A walk in the park, a book from the library, a deep conversation with a friend. You learn how to fix things that are broken instead of immediately replacing them. This is not a sign of lack. It is a sign of profound ingenuity. You are learning to see the abundance that exists outside the narrow confines of consumer culture. You are cultivating a creativity that finds solutions where others see only dead ends. This resourcefulness is a superpower. It is a form of practical wisdom that will serve you for the rest of your life in any circumstance. Let's also acknowledge the simple, unadorned courage it takes to face insecurity each day. It's easy to be confident and optimistic when the bills are paid and there's a comfortable cushion in the bank. It is another thing entirely to get out of bed, to face the world, to do your work, and to keep putting one foot in front of the other when you are carrying the heavy, invisible weight of financial worry. This is not the flashy, celebrated courage of a hero in a movie. This is a quiet, steady, persistent courage. It is the courage of endurance. It is the strength of a spirit that refuses to be extinguished by circumstance. Do not underestimate this. Honor it within yourself. You are braver than you think. Every day you navigate this challenge is a testament to your deep, abiding strength of character. There is another aspect of this experience that our culture often frames as failure, but which can be reframed as a profound strength: the act of depending on others or on systems for support. We are taught a fierce and often isolating individualism, a belief that needing help is a sign of weakness. But what if we could see it differently? What if needing and accepting help is not a failure, but an act of interdependence? What if it is a courageous acknowledgement of our shared humanity? It takes humility to ask for help. It takes grace to receive it. And it takes wisdom to understand that we are not meant to navigate this life alone. We are a social species, wired for connection and mutual support. Perhaps your struggles have forced you to become more deeply connected to your community, to your family, to the social safety nets that exist to catch us when we fall. In doing so, you have moved beyond the illusion of the self-sufficient individual and stepped into the deeper truth of our interconnectedness. You have learned that vulnerability can be a bridge, not a barrier. You have learned that there is a quiet dignity in both giving and receiving. This understanding, this move from independence to interdependence, is a sign of profound emotional and spiritual maturity. It is another gift that has been offered to you, wrapped in the harsh paper of hardship. So, instead of seeing your story as one of lack, can you begin to see it as a story of profound character development? You are not being diminished by this experience. You are being deepened. The smooth, polished stone has a certain beauty, but it is the stone that has been weathered by the wind and the rain that has the most interesting texture, the most compelling story. Your life is acquiring that rich texture. You are becoming a person of greater depth, greater compassion, and greater wisdom. This is not to romanticize poverty or to pretend that financial struggle isn't painful. It is painful. But it is to say that even within the pain, there is a powerful process of transformation at work. You are not just surviving this. You are being shaped by it into someone stronger, kinder, and more resilient than you ever thought possible. Honor that person you are becoming. Acknowledge the dignity that shines through your struggle. You are like a tree growing on a windy cliffside. You may not grow as tall or as straight as the trees in the sheltered valley, but your roots will be deeper and your wood will be stronger. You are being made unbreakable. Having honored the deep strength and character forged within you by your journey, we can now gently guide our awareness away from the vast, imagined landscapes of past and future and bring it home to the quiet, intimate reality of this exact moment. The worried mind is a time traveler. It lives in the regrets of yesterday, in the anxieties of tomorrow. It is almost never here, in the only moment that is ever truly real, right now. And it is in this present moment that we can discover a profound and accessible peace, a sense of sufficiency that has nothing to do with our financial state. This is a practice of shifting our focus from what is lacking to what is undeniably present and sufficient in this very second. It is a gentle rebellion against the tyranny of not enough. Let's begin with the most fundamental truth of your present reality, your breath. Without any effort on your part, your body is breathing. An inhale and an exhale. This rhythmic, life-sustaining process is happening for you, a constant gift. Can you feel the air entering your nostrils, cool and fresh? Can you feel your chest or abdomen gently rising? And can you feel the release of the exhale? In this moment, you have enough air. You have a sufficiency of breath. Let your attention rest on this simple, profound fact. For this breath, you are completely provided for. Let that feeling of sufficiency, just in this one small area, begin to fill your awareness. Now, expand that awareness to the feeling of your body. Notice the incredible safety and comfort of your bed. Feel the softness of the pillow beneath your head, the gentle weight of the blankets over you. In this moment, you are sheltered. You are warm. You are physically safe. For millions of people on this planet, this simple reality is an unattainable luxury. But for you, right here, right now, it is true. Can you allow yourself to truly receive this gift of comfort? Let the feeling of being held, supported, and safe permeate your body. Acknowledge the deep sufficiency in this simple physical reality. In this moment, your need for shelter and safety is completely met. Now, let your awareness expand further to the quiet of the room around you. Listen. What do you hear? Perhaps the gentle hum of an appliance, the distant sound of a car passing, or maybe a profound and beautiful silence. In this moment, there are no loud alarms, no shouting voices, no immediate demands on your attention. There is a sufficiency of peace. You have been granted this pocket of stillness in the midst of a noisy world. Can you let that quiet seep into your bones? Let it soothe the frayed edges of your nervous system. In this moment, you have enough peace. There is nothing you need to do, no one you need to be. You can simply exist in this quiet space. This is a simple but powerful practice of gratitude, not a forced, Pollyanna-ish gratitude that denies reality, but a grounded, clear-eyed gratitude for what is undeniably true in the here and now. Let's continue, just for another moment. Can you feel the stillness of your own body? The fact that you can lie here, at rest, without needing to run, or fight, or work. In this moment, you have a sufficiency of rest. Your body is being given a chance to restore and heal. Can you feel your own aliveness, the steady beat of your heart, the warmth of the blood flowing through your veins? In this moment, you have the incredible gift of life itself. These are not small things. They are everything. They are the foundational truths upon which all else is built. And they are all present, right now, in abundance. When you anchor your awareness in these present moment realities, something magical begins to happen. The frantic, grasping energy of the worried mind begins to settle. The story of "I don't have enough" is met with the undeniable, physical evidence of right now. In this moment, I am safe. I am breathing. I am okay. This doesn't magically solve your financial problems, but it does something equally important. It unplugs your sense of well-being from your financial problems. It creates an inner sanctuary of peace that is independent of your external circumstances. Let's weave in this new understanding, this new core belief. Let it be a quiet mantra in your mind. My peace does not depend on my finances. My peace is available to me right now. Repeat that to yourself. My peace does not depend on my finances. Feel the liberation in that statement. You are reclaiming your inner state. You are declaring that your emotional well-being is not for sale. It is not something that can be bought or earned. It is an inherent part of your being, always accessible when you are willing to come home to the present moment. My peace is available to me right now. Feel the truth of that. The peace is in the feeling of the breath. It is in the comfort of the blankets. It is in the quiet of the room. It is here. You don't have to go searching for it. You only have to stop and notice. Stop the endless calculations. Stop the time-traveling mind and simply arrive fully in the sufficiency of the now. This is your refuge. Whenever the storms of worry threaten to overwhelm you, you can always return here, to the breath, to the body, to this present moment. This is the solid ground beneath your feet, the anchor in the storm. By practicing this, you are cultivating an inner wealth that no one can ever take from you. You are discovering that true security is not found in a bank account, but in your ability to find your center, to find your peace, right here, right now, regardless of what is happening in the world outside. This is your power. This is your freedom. Rest in the deep and simple sufficiency of this moment. It is enough. You are enough. As you rest in this quiet sanctuary of the present moment, feeling the deep sufficiency that is always available here, let's take some time to allow the core messages of our journey tonight to settle deep into your being. This is a time for integration, for weaving these new understandings into the very fabric of who you are. Think of it like planting seeds in a well-prepared garden. We have tilled the soil by naming our feelings, acknowledged the story of how we got here, and watered the ground with compassion and forgiveness. Now, we plant the seeds of these healing truths, trusting that they will take root in the fertile darkness of your subconscious mind as you drift towards sleep. The first and most vital seed is this: your worth is inherent and unchanging. Let that sentence echo in the quiet chambers of your mind. My worth is inherent and unchanging. Feel the profound solidity of this truth. It is not dependent on your performance, your productivity, or your possessions. It was bestowed upon you at birth, a sacred, non-negotiable fact of your existence. It cannot be increased by a promotion or diminished by a debt. It simply is. Like the sky, your inherent worth is the vast, open, ever-present container for the changing weather of your life experiences. The storms of financial hardship may rage, the clouds of doubt may gather, but they can never, ever harm the sky itself. You are the sky. Allow yourself to rest in this vast, unshakable sense of your own value. It is the ultimate foundation, the bedrock upon which you can build a life of authentic peace, regardless of external circumstances. The second seed we plant is the truth of self-compassion. For so long, you may have operated under the mistaken belief that being hard on yourself was the key to improvement. Tonight, you have planted a new seed, the understanding that kindness is the most powerful agent of change. Imagine this feeling of self-compassion as a warm, golden light. See it beginning to glow in the center of your chest, at your heart space. With every gentle breath you take, Imagine this light expanding. Let it spread through your torso, filling you with a gentle, soothing warmth. Let it flow down your arms, to your fingertips, and down your legs, to the soles of your feet. Let it rise up into your neck and head, filling your entire being. This is the light of your own kindness. This is the feeling of being on your own side. Let this warmth be a physical reminder of your new relationship with yourself. This is how it feels to treat yourself like a beloved friend. This is how it feels to offer yourself the same grace and understanding you so freely give to others. Let this feeling of being bathed in the warm light of your own compassion become a familiar state, a new home base that you can return to again and again. It is always here for you, waiting just beneath the surface of the harsh inner critic. All you have to do is choose to tune into it. The third seed is the wisdom of the present moment. You have experienced tonight that peace is not a distant goal to be achieved once all your problems are solved. Peace is a present moment reality, available to you in every single breath. Let this understanding settle into your nervous system. Let your body learn that the feeling of the blankets, the sound of the silence, the rhythm of your breath are all doorways to immediate calm. You are training yourself to find your anchor in the here and now. This is an incredible skill, a form of emotional and spiritual wealth that will enrich every area of your life. The more you practice returning to the present, the less power the ghosts of the past and the phantoms of the future will have over you. You are reclaiming your life, one present moment at a time. Finally, as these seeds settle into the soil of your being, let's make a gentle, silent promise to yourself for the day that will dawn in a few hours. This is not a demanding resolution or a harsh command. It is a soft, heartfelt intention. The promise is simply this: tomorrow, I will meet myself with a little more kindness. That's all. Not perfect kindness. Not a complete absence of worry or self-criticism. Just a little more. Perhaps it means that when you wake up and the familiar worries rush in, you take 3 conscious breaths before you engage with them. Perhaps it means that if you find yourself falling into an old pattern of self-blame, you gently interrupt it with the mantra, "I did the best I could." Perhaps it means taking 5 minutes in the middle of your day to simply notice your surroundings and feel grateful for the small sufficiency of that moment. This promise is about progress, not perfection. It is about tilting the scales, ever so slightly, in the direction of self-love and peace. By making this gentle promise, you are setting a course. You are telling your entire being that you are moving in a new direction. You are choosing to be an active participant in your own healing. You are becoming your own champion, your own kindest companion on this journey. Let the feeling of this gentle intention fill you with a quiet sense of hope. You are not stuck. Change is not only possible, it is already happening. The seeds have been planted. Now, all that is left to do is rest and allow them to grow in the quiet miracle of sleep. You have done enough for today. You have engaged with courage and tenderness. Now is the time for deep restorative rest, trusting that this healing work will continue on a subconscious level as you sleep. Now, as these seeds of peace and self-compassion settle into the fertile ground of your being, the time has come to consciously and completely let go of the day. The work is done. The reflections have been made. There is nothing more to analyze, nothing more to figure out tonight. The night is not for problem solving. The night is for rest. Your mind, like a diligent employee, may still want to keep working, running the numbers, planning strategies, worrying about tomorrow. But its shift is over. It is time to give your mind explicit and loving permission to clock out. You are the gentle manager of your own inner world, and you can now say to your thinking mind, "Thank you for your hard work today. Thank you for trying so hard to keep me safe. Your job is done for now. You are relieved of your duties until morning. You have my full permission to rest." Imagine all the mental calculations, the worries about bills, the scenarios about the future. See them as papers on a desk. And now, in your mind's eye, see yourself gently gathering up all those papers, stacking them neatly, and placing them in a drawer. You are not throwing them away. You are simply putting them aside for the night. As you close the drawer, you can affirm to yourself, "I will have more clarity and more resources to deal with these things after a good night's sleep." No problem has ever been solved by losing sleep over it. This simple act of mental tidying creates a clear, uncluttered space for rest to enter. It is a boundary, a sacred line drawn between the activity of the day and the deep stillness of the night. Now, let's deepen this release by bringing our attention fully into the body. We will begin a slow, gentle body scan, not to check for problems, but to consciously invite softness and heaviness into every single muscle, every single cell. Let's begin with your feet. Bring your awareness all the way down to the tips of your toes. Invite them to soften, to let go of any tension they might be holding. Feel a wave of relaxation flowing into the soles of your feet, your heels, your ankles. Let your feet become heavy, limp, and completely at ease. They have carried you through the day. Their work is done. Allow them to feel fully supported by the surface beneath them. Let that wave of warm, heavy relaxation flow upward now, into your calves and your shins. Release any tightness you might find there. Let these strong muscles that carry you forward through life go completely soft. Feel them sinking down, becoming heavier and heavier. Now, bring that soothing wave of release to your knees and into your thighs. Your thighs are some of the largest, strongest muscles in your body. Let them go completely. Release their immense strength and allow them to become wonderfully heavy and deeply relaxed. Feel your entire lower body, from your hips to your toes, sinking into a state of profound rest, heavy, warm, and still. Now bring your awareness to your hips, your pelvis, and your lower back. This is an area where we often store a great deal of stress and tension. Consciously invite these muscles to unclench, to soften, to release their grip. With every exhale, imagine you are letting go of another layer of deeply held tension. Feel your lower back gently lengthening and spreading out against the mattress. Let this entire area become soft, open, and heavy. Now, allow that wave of relaxation to flow up into your abdomen. Let your belly be soft. Release any clenching or tightness you might be holding there. A soft belly is a sign that your nervous system is shifting into its rest and digest mode, the state required for deep healing and restoration. Let the feeling of release continue to travel upward into your chest and your heart space. Let the muscles around your rib cage soften, allowing your breath to become even more free and easy. Feel your heart beating in a slow, steady, calm rhythm, a rhythm of peace. Let that peaceful rhythm radiate out through your entire chest. Now, bring the awareness to your back, from the base of your spine all the way up to your shoulders. Imagine each vertebra releasing its grip on the next, creating a sense of space and ease along your entire spine. Let your entire back melt into the surface beneath you, feeling completely supported, completely held. Let that wave of relaxation pour over your shoulders, washing away any remaining burdens. Feel them become heavy and sink down. Let the softness flow down your arms, through your elbows, into your forearms, your wrists, your hands, and all the way to the tips of your fingers. Your arms and hands have done enough. Let them be still, heavy, and deeply at peace. Finally, bring the awareness up into your neck and your throat. Let these often tight muscles go completely limp. Allow your head to feel wonderfully heavy on the pillow. Soften your jaw, your cheeks, your lips. Let your tongue rest gently in your mouth. Smooth out the space between your eyebrows. Relax your forehead, and let even your scalp soften and release. Your entire body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, is now invited into a state of deep, profound, and heavy relaxation. There is nothing left for you to do, nothing to hold on to. Simply allow yourself to be held. Allow yourself to sink, to melt, to drift into the peaceful, healing stillness that awaits you. Your body is now a vessel of stillness, heavy and deeply relaxed. Your mind is quiet, the papers of the day filed away. You are now floating in the gentle space between wakefulness and sleep. Let's allow the mind to rest on some deeply relaxing imagery, giving it a soft place to land as it drifts into slumber. The language will now become simpler, slower. The pauses between phrases will grow longer, creating more and more space for you to let go. Imagine yourself floating weightlessly on the surface of a perfectly calm, still body of water. The water is a comfortable, soothing temperature, like a warm bath. The sky above you is a deep, velvety indigo, dotted with 1,000 soft, twinkling stars. There is a gentle, silvery moonlight that illuminates the scene, making everything feel magical and safe. You feel completely supported by the water. There is no effort required to float. The water holds you perfectly. You can let go completely and trust that you will be held. Notice the feeling of the water against your skin, a gentle, caressing sensation, a soft, continuous hug. Feel the immense peace of this place. There is no sound, except for the quiet rhythm of your own breathing. Each breath is a gentle wave, rising and falling, in perfect harmony with the stillness around you. You are weightless. You are free. All the heaviness of the world, all the worries, have dissolved into the water, leaving you feeling light and serene. Now, imagine that you are not just floating on the water, but that you are being held, safely and securely. Perhaps you imagine being a small child again, rocked gently in the arms of a loving, protective caregiver. Or perhaps you imagine being held by the gentle hands of the universe itself. Feel the profound safety in this embrace. Nothing can harm you here. You are completely protected, completely cared for. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to figure out. Your only job is to receive this comfort, to let yourself be held, to surrender to this feeling of perfect safety. You can feel all the muscles in your body letting go even more deeply, knowing that you are so securely held. The need to be on guard, the need to be vigilant, can finally fall away. You can rest, truly, deeply rest. This feeling of being held is your natural state. It is the truth of your existence. You are always held by life, even when you don't feel it. But right now, you can feel it. Let that feeling of safety and of being loved sink into every cell of your being. Or perhaps a different image feels more restful to you. Imagine yourself lying on a soft, fluffy cloud. This cloud is made of the purest, softest material imaginable. It molds perfectly to the shape of your body, supporting every curve. You are drifting gently through the quiet night sky. Below you, the world is asleep. The houses are dark. The streets are empty. Everything is peaceful. Everything is still. You feel a gentle, cool breeze on your skin. It carries with it the clean scent of the night air. As you drift on your cloud, you feel yourself becoming lighter and lighter. You are drifting away from all your concerns, all your troubles. They belong to the world down below. Up here, in the vast, open sky, there is only peace. There is only stillness. You can see the moon and the stars up close. They are your silent companions, watching over you as you rest. Your body feels as light as the cloud you are resting on. It is easy now, so easy to let go. There is nothing left to do, nothing to figure out. Simply allow rest to find you. Sleep is a natural process. You don't have to force it. You don't have to chase it. You just need to create the conditions for it to arrive. And you have done that. You have relaxed your body. You have quieted your mind. You have soothed your heart. Now, you can just wait, patiently and peacefully, like waiting for a gentle tide to come in and carry your boat out to the sea of dreams. There is nothing left to do now, nothing at all. Simply allow the gentle tide of sleep to come and get you. It is coming for you now, natural and easy. Simply rest. As you drift in this peaceful space, on the very edge of sleep, let your mind rest on a few final, gentle thoughts. There are no answers required, only a soft, open curiosity, a philosophical wondering to accompany you into your dreams. What if our lives are not meant to be a straight upward line of constant accumulation and success? What if the detours, the falls, the periods of lack are not mistakes in the design, but essential features of it? A river does not flow in a straight line to the ocean. It meanders. It bends. It sometimes slows to a near standstill in a wide, calm pool. It is the twists and turns that give the river its beauty, its character, its life. Perhaps a human life is the same. Perhaps the moments where we feel most lost are simply the river bending in a new, unexpected direction, carving a deeper path through the landscape of our soul. Consider the nature of wealth itself. We spend so much of our lives chasing a certain kind of it, the kind that can be counted, stored, and spent. But what if the most valuable forms of wealth are the ones that are invisible? The wealth of a quiet mind, the wealth of a resilient heart, the wealth of deep connection with another being, the wealth of a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. These are the treasures that truly sustain us. What if our struggles with one kind of wealth are a cosmic invitation to discover and cultivate the other? A curriculum designed to teach us what is truly of value. We are now going to drift even deeper into relaxation, deeper into sleep. I will count down from 5 to 1. With each number, you will feel yourself letting go more and more, sinking deeper into the soft, welcoming darkness of rest. 5. Letting go of all thought, all effort. Your mind is becoming as vast and empty as the night sky. Just a peaceful, quiet awareness, ready for dreams. 4. Your body is sinking deeper. A pleasant, heavy sensation. Melting into the mattress. Becoming one with the stillness around you. There is no separation between you and the peace of this room. 3. You are drifting further away from the waking world. The sounds of the room are fading. Your awareness is turning completely inward, toward the quiet center of your being. You are safe. You are held. 2. Almost there, on the very threshold of deep, restorative sleep. All that is left is to let go completely, to surrender to the gentle, irresistible pull of slumber. 1. You are deeply, peacefully asleep. You are whole. You are safe. And you are so deserving of this deep, restorative rest. Sleep is coming now. Natural and easy. Rest now.